Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of ChargePoint, ticker symbol CHPT. And so the reason why I want to be going over this ticker is because there was this huge drop. Let's see how big of a drop that was from the close on Thursday, November 16th, to the close on Friday, approximately a 35% drop. And so that's why I'm making this video, so we can look at that a little bit closer. And so the reason why there was a drop, as far as I understand, is because there's a management transition. So the CEO is being replaced by the CFO, I believe. But I think the now former CEO is going to be on the board. I'm not exactly sure, but there's some adjustments there. Also, they have a revenue downgrade, so that doesn't look too good. And then macro challenges. I would click this link, but it's covered with ads, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so there's some bad news from the company, or at least some adjustments within the company. And so the resulting 35% drop happened. And, as you can see, I marked all of these levels I went over in the previous video. And so now we have a giant gap to the upside in place of what was this smaller gap to the downside. And so my thoughts on this are that I was surprised that the price did not continue to plummet during the market. Basically, after hours, price began dropped more in the pre-market, and I'll show the hourly candles in a minute. But then during market hours, open was $2.03, high $2.12, low $1.95. So right around $2 is what it was trading at. And so my thoughts with this are that it's not really a falling knife. We experienced that in the pre-market and the after hours, but it flattened out during market hours. In the after hours following this big drop, it's actually up a tiny bit. So not $2.02, it's $2.03. So it really, not that big of a deal, but it did go up. And so my thoughts with this are, I'm wondering if this could be the bullish abandoned baby pattern, where you have a candle on the first day, then this doji or spinning top. This is probably just a doji on the second day, and then the third day you have this reversal candle. And so I'm kind of wondering if it's that pattern. It could just be a spinning top, which there are some examples in this chart. I don't know how well you can see it, but they don't necessarily correspond with reversals, but they can, because the way that the candle looks, it looks like there's indecision, that there are buyers going below this level, below $2, and then sellers above $2. But, I was expecting this candle to just continue down. And so before I get into the hourly candles, just one thing I wanted to note that might be a downtrending level of support is just basically connecting the low from October 26th to the low of November 17th. And so maybe that will serve as support in the future. Ideally, the price will be going up back to these yellow levels that I have marked. But, I guess worst case scenario, or I guess best worst case scenario, is this white trend line serves as support. But anyways, looking at the hourly candles, we can see that, after hours on November 16th, price dropped. This is a falling knife, very bad looking. I guess you could maybe argue that this is a bear flag. I'm not really sure. But one thing that's interesting, there's this big wick going up here. I'm not sure if that was real, or, what was going on with that. But, a thing that makes me feel a little bit better about this is that it was flat during the market hours. So in looking at the daily candles again, I'm wondering if this might be an overreaction, this drop flattened out at $2 psychological level, serving as support. And so I'm wondering if next week Monday even, start of the week, if price will be higher. So I think that will be telling whether or not this was an overreaction. If price goes up, I would say that's an overreaction. If price stays down here and or goes lower, it's not an overreaction. This is something that needs to be priced in. And so what I personally have done, since I do have shares of ChargePoint, I took this as an opportunity to get my average down. I never really trade big positions. I'm a pretty small trader. So my hope is that this goes back up. I have a lower average, and then I can trim my position when it goes back up. But, that might be a terrible idea. This might continue down. I suspect it will. I'm probably wrong. But those are my thoughts. And if they were helpful for you, make sure you like the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and happy trading.